Radio, Syosset, New York, out on Long Island. Rob Hyde, he's the lieutenant of engine company number 5. We're here today talking about their 2022 Pierce Enforcer. They purchased, what, 5 engine companies?
5 engine companies and 1 rescue engine, one shot.
It's pretty wild. And they all are similar in setup, correct?
Yep, so all the 3 of the engines are set up exactly the same, tool placement and everything. 2 set up slightly different, just 1 compartment is different. The rescue engine is its beast in itself.
Its own animal.
Yeah, it's its own animal, so a little bit different design, but for the engine companies, it's all the same.
Okay, and here at Engine Company 5, you have an engine company, and then next to us we have a Quint, or we run it as a truck, but it's got a pump on it too.
Yeah, so in this house, we typically have our engine, department spare, plus our own company, Quint, that we're running as the truck.
So talk to me a little bit about how you guys ended up on a Pierce Enforcer, and then the department makeup, because to be able to purchase 5 engines and a rescue engine, it's nice to be able to bring them all in at the same time, and I think you guys have done that before, no?
Yeah, so previously we had 2007 Pierce dashes before this. The committee at that time did the same thing, purchased 5 engines, just to keep the continuity of everything together, so everybody, it feels comfortable on each rig and knows where everything is. So we kept that same design. That once those rigs started to age on us a little bit, we kept it the same. To bring those engines in at the same time, so everybody had the same thing between the companies and houses. So no matter where you went, responding, it was the same.
Cool. And what brought us here to Syosset is very much the fact of how they set it up. It's a beautifully designed engine. It's a great build, design, and look. But I want to talk about some of the design features. So you and I are going to take a walk around real quick. I want to talk about real quick where we start in the cab area. They have riding positions here. So every seat in the rear has a riding position. Nozzle, backup control, hydrant, right?
Yep.
And so on. Right? Talk to me a little bit about those considerations and where the equipment goes per the riding assignments.
So for our riding assignments, right, like you said, typically staff, from the front of the line, the nozzle back up backwards. So we keep the spare nozzles that we have for the second nozzle guy next to him. Everybody's position has their own personal radio that's identified to them, as well as like a key-in system for accountability. All that stuff is kept at their sides, their hand lights, their packs. Everything's within an arm's reach of them. Nobody's got to move around and jostle around the cab to get what they need or account for themselves when we get there. So once we get there, they can just get off the rig and they're kind of ready to go.
And it's simple too, right? The hydrant guy's on the passenger side of the engine and he's riding backwards. And as he comes out, and we'll get to that, his hydrant caddy is right outside, right? And how you guys operate matters where the seat is, so that they're first out or second out, depending on how that looks.
Yes, that's exactly it. So we just divided the cab, plus with the equipment, on what's going on what side of the rig for where they're sitting in their positions. So when you get out, you're on the right side of the rig for what you need.
Cool. EMS equipment right here,
yep,
I'm
so,
assuming?
Yep, so EMS equipment, just, the just in case, our AED, our Band-Aids and some oxygen just in case. We're not running as a CFR company or anything, but we just have it as in case of.
In case of, for our own or the public if we arrive.
Yep.
What I found unique, and this is the first time for you guys, right, is no more cross lace.
Yeah, so no more cross lace. We've been training and drilling, stretching off the back. We have a very diverse district with what we're going on. So we can't account for preset cross lays on this is the number that we're going to need. So everything's going to be stretched off the back on a hand stretch. So we got rid of the cross lays and we utilized the space just as a compartment for us because we didn't feel the need that we're going to use them so much that we'd rather have the space.
It's a great dunnage area, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's just
beautiful.
Space. So for simple things like brooms and shovels, you guys do a lot of auto accidents here, a lot of MVAs, MVCs, right? So, that helps out on fluid control and things like that, brush fire rakes and things like that. It's a great dunnage area. A lot of electronic valves. I know that's new for you guys.
Yeah, electronic valves are brand new to us. The committee, the commissioners, the board, everybody, felt the need to change in the direction from the pull handles. No more trying to yank on them as much as we can. Just the press of a button, get the what pressures we want and get those valves, opened. Yeah, so we took this as the dividing line. Anything pretty much above that's going to be a discharge. Anything below is going to be the intake, and then front to rear of the rig, and then our large diameters just to keep it in line that above here water out and down here water in.
I love that. Simple.
Simple.
Make it simple. So very good. We'll walk down this way. Engineer's compartment.
Yep, engineer's compartment right next to the pump panel. Same setup from the old rig. We liked it that everything's here. You're that guy driving everything here. For those adapters and appliances are going to be right next to you that you can make that quick change right here.
Good. I like the split door too.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's a little bit different. A lot of times you have a full swinging, it will full swing out so that you can get to it from the pump panel for the engineer, right? But with the splits, it's less of a swing. I like the split doors.
So that was exactly our discussion on why we went split. We didn't want that huge huge bend, so we cut that down.
Yeah, good design. I like that. Talk to me about over the wheel well, and then obviously driver's pack, I would assume, in the well.
Yeah, so just the chauffeur's pack in the well, and then we keep all our high-rise stuff in here, right? So we got our 4 high-rise bundles plus the control guy's standpipe bag. So we're going to a high-rise operation on any of our hotels, commercial buildings.
Sure.
Everybody's getting off the rig, and they're coming here and getting the stuff. So if you're that control guy, you got your control bundle with your adapters and everything right there. You can just grab it and go from here. You don't have to go to 3 different sides of the rig to get what you want to complete it.
And then you also have your blitz fire mounted in here as well. So if it's not a high rise, but we're doing large caliber streams for large fire,
Yep.
it's right here.
Yep. Same thing. Everything stayed in one spot. All the tips are there. It's anchors, keeping it all in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice setup. Let's go back into it's a little bit unique for an engine company because you do have a squad engine or a rescue engine you guys build too.
Yep.
So you guys obviously then with the amount of motor vehicle accidents that you're going to, you guys have the potential to do a simple door pop, stabilization, things like that.
Yeah, so with our location of our firehouse, the LIE is right here, the Northern State, Jericho Turnpike, the 135. We're doing, our potential to get in first due from the rescue engines a little bit. So we have the capability to start that. We got some struts on our rig, which is new to us. And then, the basics, ram, cutters, spreaders,
Sure.
typical cribbing, just to get that operation going, doing the simple things, simple things in the beginning to make everything, easier in the long run for those hard extrications.
Set of struts, a spreader, a cutter, a ram, a couple other auxiliary tools, and a cribbing bundle. You can do a lot of work.
Yep.
A lot of work with that. Good. Let's swing around here to the rear, and let's talk about the uniqueness of your hose loads. Something a little bit different. A lot of departments are running pre-connected lines. You guys do not.
Nope.
We got rid of the cross lays. You got a bumper line up front for trash fires, I'm sure, auto fires, things like that. But from the rear, we're running on a reduced line, right? Talk to me a little bit about the strategy of how you guys typically operate now and why you built it this way.
So it's the same setup as our old engines. It did great for us, that hose bed setup. So we wanted to keep it exactly the same in hose lengths. So we keep 2 city lays, we call them. So it's 300 feet of 1 3/4 on top of 2.5. Typically, residential fires, we'll stretch off these hose beds. We'll go fire to hydrant. We'll leave both lines in front of the house and stretch. Leave it in for leave that next one up for the next to an engine company, and then we have our 800 feet 2.5 for our commercials and 1,000 feet of 5-inch. Some parts of our district in the upper end of town get a little distance from them, from the hydrants to the house. So, we want to, bring that water with us. So give us, our best capability.
So we're doing 300 of 1 3/4 to 800 of 2.5.
500 feet
500
of 2.5.
How much are in your horseshoe bundle?
50. It's 450 foot, so it's 200 feet total.
Okay, got it. So what's nice is they take their bundle, they walk away, they lay it down, the engine takes off and goes from fire to water, which is kind of unique. I mean, it's more of a Detroit style. You see Detroit doing a lot of bundles off the rear. It's a very nice setup, and to be able to do that, to have the water supply to be able to offer that option is a home run. So to be able to pull off the back, driver goes, hooks up, it's fantastic, man. I love it. What do we have down here?
So this is our hydrant bag. So if we're laying in, we got the whole bag, the whole appliances and adapters and quarter turn gates and spanners and all that. So they can just grab, get it off to the side, lay in some spare cylinders, and then these are our car fire chocks. Right. So typical car fire, you don't want the car rolling on you. Somebody's going to come back, throw them out, get them under the wheels, just that safety barrier.
All right, guys, so we're on top of engine 5 now. Rob, talk to me a little bit about what we're doing with the dunnage area.
So up in our coffin compartment, we call it, right? We're keeping our foam buckets up here. The old rig we were keeping up here. So what we did was put the foam up here. We made a nice little bag with our appliances for the foam, the nozzle, the inductor, and the tubing. So when you're coming up here, you're getting your foam, you're going to bring the bag with you, right? We're keeping everything that's the same, components together. So you're not going to the different sides of the rig. We're not taking up space in the chauffeur compartment to go to, 4 different spots.
It makes sense, right? If you think about it, how often are we doing foam operations and we're keeping our inductors and we're keeping our nozzles and all the specialty stuff down below taking up compartment space, where if you have space up top where typically we're keeping our foam pails, why not keep a bag of all the equipment together, get it up out of the way and up top where the foam pails are, because you're not using these without those. Just makes sense.
Yep.
Smart play, man.
Yep.
Real smart. We got some more step cribbing in here.
Yep.
And then we got some extra Speedy dry, some tarps, and so on. I like the manual stang too.
Yeah.
Something about it, man.
So the manual stang, right? Just that versatility and quick deployment. Got some lighting up here, you know, just in a convenient out of the way spot, but you're not up here in the dark by yourself. Keeping the nozzle, you know, the spare task force up here, you know, just keeping it all together.
And even climbing up here was super simple with a couple fold down steps. So even for the chauffeur, if you're riding light staffed and you got to blitz this thing on arrival, heavy fire on arrival, the guys are stretching off the rear. I mean, even the chauffeur can take 3 steps up and manually run this to where it needs to be, open the gate valve, and off we go.
Yep, yeah, so we got the discharge, right? Its own personal one up here that you can operate if you're that chauffeur. You don't have to be down at that pump panel, open it up, run up here and do it. You can do it yourself up here, open and close it and do what you got to do.
I love it. I'll talk about this compartment real quick, a lot of hand tools and so on.
Yeah, so this is what we deem the forcible entry compartment. So that's going to be, you know, our irons, our hydro ram, the forcible entry saw, bolt cutters, things like that. We have a chainsaw, the Northern State Parkway. Very wooded area off to the sides, so we've had some access issues there. So we put a chainsaw on that we can create that access for us. Some pony lengths, some Siamese adapters for the hydrants, just change it up, just keep it towards the back of the rig as needed. But this is our forcible entry compartment.
Got it. I love it. We'll go here. This is kind of unique for an engine company, and it goes right to what we were talking about with the amount of accidents you deal with and fluid spills and so on. So you have a built-in Speedy dry hopper that I think one of you guys said has about a bag and a half capacity.
Yeah, so it's keeping about a bag and a half. Bag and a half for us. We used to keep Speedy dry buckets on top of the rig. The snowy, you know, northeast conditions was a pain for us. So we're keeping it down low. So the guys are staying on the ground, keeping their feet there.
Yeah.
But do it, you know, it's for those auto accidents. We're doing, you know, a lot of spills. So it's just convenience for us.
No, I get it too, and it's nice that it's hugged against the apparatus too, so that we're keeping our guys close and in a safe zone when they're working. So it's a home run. I love it. We got some extra cylinders over the well here.
Yep, spare cylinders, the typical.
Yep. This compartment here, so talk to me a little bit about what we have here.
So this is just our, I guess, miscellaneous compartment.
Right.
So a couple of more Speedy dry buckets, just, you know, as the need is there. Blowhard fan, some extinguishers, and then we have a little Milwaukee light tower. Those nighttime auto accidents, those late night calls.
Sure.
Just a quick setup, plug in the batteries, set it up, be good to go.
Good. Talk to me a little bit about the ladders, right? So you guys took your high-rise bundles, you put them in a compartment on the driver's side over the wheel well, or over the wheel, right? And so that has allowed you guys to keep your ladders down low then for easy, you know, access.
Yep. So we wanted to keep the ladders low. We have some vertically challenged members, so putting them up higher doesn't really help them that much.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the ladder is not the most convenient thing to carry and get off the rig. So keeping it lower, we're going to give them that chance. We made sure we put that 24-foot ladder on the outside, just because if we're coming up to that first due and somebody's hanging out a window, that's our go-to ladder. So we don't want to waste that time getting that first ladder off to get to the ladder we want. So we wanted to keep that one on the outside and just keep it low, just so everybody, you know, everybody can do what they need.
It makes sense. It's nice and clean. It sits low to the rail, you know, and so on. A lot of scene lighting. I know up top we got a lot of scene lighting, a lot of warning lighting. I love the signboard. It's a good look. I mean, it's just a clean build. We come around here, something a little bit unique. So we're on the other side now, the officer's side of the pump panel, right? So electronic valve.
Yep. So electronic valve intake. Just on the officer side, 4 sides of the rig, we got water coming in.
Right.
We wanted to give ourselves options for how we can get water in and get water out.
I get it.
So, yeah.
No, it's a nice find. And then also the built-in can position. So we got hooks on both sides, I noticed, mounted on the back of the cab, right?
Yep.
And then we got our spanner wrenches, obviously, and so on. But the can position is here, too. So there's a can in the well.
Yeah, so we put a can in the well just because we felt we could free up some compartment space by putting it here. It's going to be the go-to, the small garbage cans, fires, and the outside rubbish or whatever. So we wanted to free up that space, and we had the capability to put it out here that you can just get that quick grab instead of fumbling through the compartment for us.
Got it. And then what we talked about, right? So when we talked about riding positions on the other side of the apparatus, here's the hydrant seat, right? So this is the hydrant man. which makes sense because he comes out on the passenger side, which the hydrant's going to be on the passenger side typically, right? So when he comes out, if you're forward laying, he runs to the rear, he grabs the hydrant bag out of the back.
Yep.
If they're laying from hydrant to fire. But a lot of times, like we talked about from the rear, you guys are running from fire to hydrant.
Yep.
Right? So we have what here? What is this?
So this is our in-house built Hydrant Caddy. Our district mechanics did a great job. They built, for our needs. So that hydrant guy can get out, open this compartment, right? We're nosed into a hydrant and just grab it and go. The front bumper is 25 feet of 5-inch, right?
Yep.
So they're not getting more, than 40 feet away from the rig. That if they need anything else, they can get it. The chauffeur can grab it for them. They can yell it. But what they need to start their operation is right here in a quick, to-go fashion. That grab and go, get us the water.
I love it. It's a cool in-house build, and man, you guys know on National Fire Radio and Apparatus Innovations, I love this in-house stuff. I really do. I think it's just unique to how they operate, and it's a cool little caddy. So, love that. Let's move up to the front. We'll talk about the officer seat real quick. So we got floor pedals. We got an officer's tool down below.
Yep. So officer's tool down below, floor pedals, frees up that officer's hands, and then we're keeping that low, out of the way, not an impalement object for the officer. They get out, they grab their tool, it's right at their feet, they can grab and go. Everything else that we kept for the officer, their hand light, their thermal imaging camera, their radio, their meters, it's all within an arm's reach of them. So they can just grab it and they don't have to, get up from their seat and turn around and grab things and make sure everything's unsecured or have people pass things to them. It's all, self-sufficient for themselves up there.
Yeah, it's a nice play. I love this too. They got a magnet here for the SCBA buckle. Accountability ring. You also have a unique accountability system, which we'll touch on in another segment. But it's kind of an electronic accountability and riding position.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, it's exactly it. The accountability will pop people's names up and what position they're in. So that incident commander or that fast team can take a look at that screen and that tablet and see what position they are and kind of give them that idea of where they are in that building.
I love it. I love it. Nice. So we'll come around the front. Let's just talk about what you guys did in the front real quick. So we got cornering lights. You hit the blinker. This light becomes a clear spot, if you will, or for a scene, and it will light up the ground. So as you're cornering.
So when we're cornering, we're getting that light in. Like I said, some of the district up north gets a little dark. The street lights are, not the greatest or non-existent. So we want to provide our chauffeurs that light in.
Yep.
Give them that chance to see everything that's out there and just create a safer environment for us.
That's cool. Front intake on a swivel, right?
Yep.
And then we have a trash line up front.
Yep. So trash lines, 100 feet, 1 3/4. It's going to be, for our trash fires, our car fires, our dumpsters. Just a quick, donut roll deployment.
Yeah.
Just off the bumper.
Well, brother, what a great tour. A quick run around of Engine Company 5 here in Syosset, New York. Lieutenant, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. I truly do. Rob Hyde from Syosset, Engine Company number 5. And I'm Jeremy with National Fire Radio. Thanks for joining us for Apparatus Innovations.